Welcome to Java. Thank you kindly for joining me. It's November 19th, 2024, and it's Tuesday. We've got a few things going on this morning. It is quite early, so I'm going to be a bit of a short session because I'm missing some elements of the news aren't out quite yet. But we do have quite enough that I would like to put this out. So I've got this prior to the market open, hopes that it will help you out today. So, with this, we are starting with the largest thing that is going on in this world. And I think that any American globally should be thankful that the Russian Federation has someone in control that has a good sense about them, at least, because we've got this whole thing with the long range weapons and nuclear war kind of literally about to blow up. Now, this is a little bit of an extended headline, so they are using this as a bit of distraction. And I'll talk a little bit more about this and how it's affecting the markets in just a moment. But the reason I'm saying this is because I think there's other things going on over in the East, as I spoke about before, to do with the currencies. So, as a last ditch effort, it appears that current administration rolled back and indeed reversed the policy for America. It's not a first strike and is including NATO in quite a bit of a mess. So I know that you've heard quite a bit about this. So let's just go into how it's going to affect the markets, really what we're looking at. Now we've got the market risk indicator still hovering about the same, but we've got this morning the 10-year yield moving on this message that's come out and the threat of war. So, as I said, it's prior to market open, so really not getting good indicators right now as of yet. We've got the fear greed meter has pulled back to neutral towards fear territory. Now, stocks at the moment still in the green, but this is pretty much from yesterday and the close really flat. Volatility was rising prior to the end and oil down now. With this threat, oil could go up. It's kind of at a support level, very strong support at $65. And we're heading back up from there. So gold above 2,600 again. And we've got the futures showing that there's definitely weakness in the market. Now, we've got a couple of things in the sentiment that could affect what's going on here. Now, we've got the conflict, of course, could overshadow everything depending on how this is handled in the next 24 to 48 hours. Now we've got NVDA and WalMart earnings to watch. WalMart this morning prior to the market open, and that's going to give a view into the real customer sentiment as far as what they're spending on discretionary goods, as well as some other insights. Now, NVIDIA later on in the week, they've had a few things in the news as well, could be very volatile. So if you'd like to set up some option trades on that one, there is very likely to be some good movement going on. Now, back to cryptocurrencies, we've got Bitcoin at 91,000 and higher, was hitting 92 for a while. And I'll speak a little bit about that in a moment, but we're watching the relative strength of the dollar. Now, it's been on a tear the last few days since the election, and we are now watching a return, and this is in the Asian and European markets. Now, the dollar basically crushed these as it drove a lot of the European and Asian money into United States markets. So now it looks like this morning early, European stocks are attempting to rebound. So we've got the stocks 50 back up. And then we've also got China, their stocks rising as pressure is coming off them from the dollar changing a bit. We've got the 10-year yield changing, and they are also getting hopes of stimulus, although I don't think that's the story because the stimulus was announced before and it really didn't have that much of an effect. So, what we're watching more, as I was speaking about yesterday, is a flow due to the differences in relative strength of the currencies. Now, all of them are being inflated away, so I don't want to mislead anybody here. The dollar is losing purchasing power. However, it maintained its power and is becoming, how do I say this? It's losing its value less quickly than the other currencies are. They are plummeting at a much more rapid pace. So dollar's still going down. It will just be the last one to go. So with this, we've got housing starts and building permits this morning. And then we've got Chicago Fed President Goolsbee speaking this morning. So he'll come out and manage the markets as we need. Now, this is what happened with current administrations. I was saying allowing US and NATO supplies long-range missiles allowed to strike deep into native Russian soil. So with that, that is basically a nuclear threat. So of course, we're getting retaliation. And thankfully, as I said earlier, the person in charge there is a real leader and has decided to keep his hand off the button for now. So we'll hope this continues and this brings into discussion and not anything more. So with this, I'd like to go back to Bitcoin. We had MicroStrategy. They are buying massive amounts of Bitcoin. So that is part one of the story of why the price is rising. And it could very well hit 100,000 prior to the end of the year. Second part of the story of why it's rising is because the amount of Bitcoin now is the lowest it's been on the exchanges since 2018. So extremely low supply, at the same time garnering larger interest. Now, it's at a level to where it's hitting a bit of temporary resistance, so it could have a pullback, but in the longer run, that would be, in my view, not financial advice, a good opportunity to make an entry into a position or purchase some. If you have not, if you are so inclined, everybody is responsible for their own financial decisions. But with this, wish you all a wonderful day. Hope you're green if you're trading, and until I see you again, stay free.